Go gadget.
No.
Man, I don't tell you, Travis. Hog's gonna hog.
Not again.
Yep, Hog's gonna hog, baby. Hog's gonna hog.
Not again, Clint.
It never ceases me being a Razorback fan or ability to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. So, but
And here's the deal, Clint. I had to deal with that. And then my lovely Browns go into Baltimore when Baltimore's playing, celebrating their anniversary of being in Baltimore. So the team that was stolen away, Art Modell stole away from Cleveland back
yep,
when Belichick was the coach and all that. Their final year in Cleveland, they were predicted to go to the AFC Championship game. And anyway, they hold Derrick Henry to 20 yards rushing or something like that and still get blown out. And by the way, Derrick Henry's on my fantasy team.
yeah.
Anyway, on one of my fantasy teams.
I,
Anyway,
you know what? And Travis, I got a crazy fancy football story I'm gonna tell on the other side of the
yeah,
intro. Uh, but you know what? What the guys that we play fancy football with should do right now. The
I know
guys,
what they should do.
me
Everybody that
and
plays
you,
fantasy football, not
everybody that
just the
plays.
guys
If
we
you
play
play
with.
fantasy football, not just in our league where I'm going to win,
Yeah,
currently
whatever.
two and
Whatever.
zero,
Not a
El
chance.
Champiano.
Not a chance.
Um, no. So what they would do, they should give this a like, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Then they should share it,
Share.
and then they should subscribe,
Subscribe.
and then Sean Michelle should play some music as I turn on this flamingo.
Yay,
I don't remember where the
Flamingo.
button.
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you a change is here. You ever seen a
Now, what's a
cancer
rhyme
dead?
song?
Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change is here. My Lord, changes things. My Lord, changes things. Can you hear me now? Church, can you hear me now? Ever seen a broken heart made whole? Ever seen an orphan find a home? Ever seen the weak find the strength? I promise you a change is thing. Ever seen the sick get healed? Ever seen a mystery revealed?
That's one thing I like
Ever
about
seen a death man raised? I promise you a change is thing.
What's up, everybody? It's time. It's time for the Hawg Slop podcast, baby. I'm your boy, bigger T, joined as always by my man, Big C, Clint Clark. How you doing, Clint?
Man, I'm great. I'm relieved. I'm thrilled. Travis, I was telling you on the other side that I had a crazy fantasy football story.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went into yesterday. The score was literally my opponent. I don't remember who it is. 93.02. And I was at 92.88.
Oh, wow.
So literally 0.14 points.
Yeah,
He had the kicker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
yeah.
and I had the kicker for the Houston Texans,
Oh, wow.
who were playing each other on Monday Night Football.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, so it was like literally, it was a kickoff.
Yeah,
Like if one of them scored one more extra point. Now, fortunately, the Texans kicker scored more points, so I
yeah,
won.
yeah.
And I entered down 0.14. And crazy thing too, this is like the fun stuff that living. I was driving through Houston yesterday, last night late because I had a meeting in Arkansas, and I'm having to drive home.
Yeah.
In Houston at night, it's a delight.
I bet.
You
Yeah. It's
you should just
glorious.
do it sometime,
Yeah, just for funsies.
especially if you have anxiety.
Yeah,
Nothing bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw like a group of buses with police escorts like about midnight or well, about 10 or 11 in Houston. I was
Yeah.
like, there goes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, you should have said hi to Baker.
I was
What's
like,
up,
well, I
Baker?
was going to say hi to for Kyle Fairbath or whatever his name
Yeah,
was
that's
because
right. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the
he
win,
hooked
buddy.
up Generation Fat, took us to 2-0. How's your fantasy team doing? And if you're 0-2, I don't know. I'm not trolling you.
I
For
can't remember. I'm in 3 leagues, so I get confused on which ones I'm doing. But I will tell you that Aubrey from the Cowboys, there's rarely you say this about a kicker.
yeah,
That dude is a beast. In one of my leagues, I forget which league I'm in, and I have him, but he got me 22 points yesterday. But when
wow.
you kick one kick for 6 points, a 64-yarder in a game, you're going to stack up the points.
So how many points would a Cam Little's have kick have been at 70 yards? Is that a
That's
7?
7 points. Yeah.
Was
Every
it
10
7
yards
points?
is seven
Okay.
is a point.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see how they're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Further
3 points.
away it is.
It's 30 yards and in. I think that's the way it does it.
It's like 3 and then 40's 4,
Yeah.
5,
Something like that. I
55.
think
Yeah.
that's the way it does it. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I was like, but dude, Aubrey's just such a weapon, man. He's just, golly, what a beast.
So Travis, if you're watching a football game,
Hmm.
and I'm bad about this. If I'm like watching a football game and I know they're like on the 38, I just can't go 38 plus 17. I had to go, okay, it's
Yeah.
38, 10 for the end zone, so that's 48, then plus 7, so that's 55.
Yeah.
Where it'd be more efficient, I don't 38 plus 17 is 55. No, I got
Yeah.
to.
I'm the same way. Yeah. I got
I
to
don't
think.
know and I don't know if it's just probably because it's hard, longer math.
Well, that's because we're
Easy.
algebra guys. A plus B equals C.
But I do. I have to break it down like that. I
That's
can't
right.
just
Yeah.
go,
I know.
oh, he's at the 40. That's a 57
That's the
yarder.
excuse I'm going to make. Maybe we're just simple men. Oh,
I think it's because it's easier to add 10 and then add 7 to
yeah.
10.
But that's the way I do anyway. Like, if I'm adding something, I say, okay, that's 10. And then if I'm adding 7 to it, I say, okay, add 10 to it minus 3. Just just I get it to the
Yeah.
closest 5 or 10 just about. But anyway, well, Clint, look,
Now
you
you were
were
hitting
right.
me with some you were hitting me with some stuff before the podcast that's
You
just
you were right
crazy.
on the prediction for this game.
Golly.
I was wrong. I predicted the upset by the Hogs at the beginning of the year when we did our with Courtney Mims when we did our prediction deal. I thought this was going to be the upset. I was close.
You were close. You
I was
probably should have
we
been
were
right.
we were driving for it. But what do I do? What am I supposed to do? We'll talk about that more in a minute. But anyway, if you know, you know. But anyway, Clint, the Hogs went down to Oxford and couldn't pull it off. Let's talk about the warm fuzzies first. What's the warm
Yeah.
fuzzies for this? I think the first one, I'm just going to throw it out there because I think it's just out there. We can talk specifics more about it, but the warmest fuzzy we got, just that warm blanket on a cold winter night that we got going for us right now, that comfortable hoodie that we put on a cold day right now, it's the offense, baby.
No, you can't say it. You can't say enough good things about the offense. And I was actually going to say Bobby Petrino.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm what I think I'd classify as a Bobby Petrino hater, wouldn't you?
yeah. I think both of us would be not
Yeah,
his
yeah,
biggest
a
fans.
hater, but
We're not necessarily haters.
I'd say I'm a hater. I'm a hater,
Yeah, yeah.
but he's
I
winning
mean,
me over. Here's the thing:
he is winning me over.
if the
Yeah.
season would ended right now, you could not justifiably keep Bobby Petrino away from at least being a finalist for the Broyles Award.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't. The
Yeah.
the offense is that impressive.
Yeah.
Listen,
Especially with all the new pieces you got. You're
all the
exactly
new
right.
pieces. The Taylon Green is looking like he's looking like an NFL quarterback, Travis. I'm not saying he's going to get drafted or anything like that. He got outdueled.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, really, if you want to break it down, well, anyway, but that is definitely a warm fuzzy, just the offense. And for me, another warm fuzzy is the offensive line as a
Yes.
whole. Um, I mean, he didn't get touched hardly.
Yeah.
He was able to move around and um,
Look,
much improved.
Corey Robinson, what a great addition.
Yeah,
I mean, him and Omega Blake are up there for portal ads of the year
yeah,
for the Hogs
transfer of
for
the year.
sure.
Yeah,
When we do our biggin awards later on in the year, that's probably the two. I mean, and I bet the fat guy's going to get the lean there probably.
yeah, probably
Um,
I would imagine.
but then our boy Carmona playing excellent at guard. He's doing exactly what we kind of thought he would do. He's playing hard. He's playing nasty. He's that enforcer at guard that you want for an inside lineman like that. And then Kittler, whatever, our center. Now, Clint, let me ask you this: how tall is Kittler, our center?
I don't know. I haven't looked it up.
But if you look at him compared to the other guys,
No,
dude,
no,
he
no.
looks like 6 foot tall. Like
Yeah.
if he's 6 foot, like he literally, like I think me and like I'm 6'2", and I think I would look down at him a little bit.
Yeah.
He now maybe just because those other guys are so tall, I don't know, but he just looks short. But the dude is blocking well. He's doing a good job, and like you said, the line that's a warm fuzzy.
Well, and then the right side of the offensive line, the Arkansas boys.
Yeah,
You got Marriott, you got E, and
yeah,
then um,
yeah. And I mentioned those three, but those two guys are doing great too. I mean,
yeah, I
they're doing
mean,
fine.
yeah, doing great. I mean, you look at you. This is kind of Marriott Harris's second year as the starting right tackle. He started off kind of as guard last year,
Yeah,
and I think what's big is they've been able to put they've been able to put them five out there and make them the starting
that's
five.
right.
And they're like, "You guys go," and they've been handling. And I know that you've got your sixth guy, you got Shaq out there, and then Harris will do what you need him to do.
Yeah,
But I think as long as they can keep these five going,
yeah.
I think good things.
And once again, and I know we've already said this, but this was our first test against an SEC team. The receiving core, Omega Blake, Clint, I think Omega Blake may end up being one of my favorite receivers at Arkansas. I mean, like he's not spectacular. Like he's not a, he's not a, he doesn't have the physical ability like a Traylon Burks, just a freak size and stuff like that. He kind of, but what he reminds me of, sort of reminds me of like a poor man's Antonio Brown. You know what I mean? Like he's not the biggest guy, but he can go up and make contested catches. He runs good routes. He's got good speed. Um, I like watching him play, and I think Green likes throwing to him.
No, and Green is so much more comfortable spreading the ball out. The
Yeah.
tight ends are getting more balls this year.
Hey, do you think that was a little message to maybe one of a former tight end, the fact that we threw to the tight end first play?
It might have been. It might have been. It might have been, or it might have just been that's who was open. Or maybe Petrino called it up that way just as a. Oh, I don't. If it was a message, I want to know who sent it. I don't know
That's
if it
right,
was.
yeah, that's
I don't
right.
know if it was Great or Petrino, but I know he really likes Jordan Platt.
Yep.
Platt looks good. I know they like Rohan Jones. Offensively, I can't say enough good things. I give the warm fuzzies. And then did somebody just turn the
Yeah,
fan
it's getting
back
cold and
down?
prickly in here, Clint.
Cold
It's
and
getting
it's
cold and
prickly.
prickly. It's getting
It's prickly because here's the thing. I'm going to say the first cold prickly was the kicker. Um, they weren't chip shots,
no.
and they were on the road, and he's a true freshman kicker, and hopefully he bounces back for this and becomes one of the all-time greats. But you got the difference in the game was that they made theirs and we missed ours.
Well, and here's my first cold and prickly.
Well,
Here's
that
my
was
first
mine.
one,
Go ahead.
and it's the biggest one to me. is coaching. We got out coached, except for on the offensive side of the ball, our offense against their defense. That first kick, Clint, with a freshman kicker. And look, I know hindsight's 2020, but to me, you're going against Lane Kiffin, who's a gambler guy. Lane Kiffin would have went for that 4th and 2
Oh, 100%.
if he had Taylor Green. If he would have had his D2 quarterback, I think he would have went for it in that situation especially with a freshman kicker having to kick over 50 yards in his first road SEC game, first road SEC game. I think, and once again, hindsight's 2020, bad call.
And that's one of them things. I think I want to talk about it now. I know obviously the other cold prickly is the defense. It was horrendous.
Yeah.
But there's a good segue here, Travis, so I'm going to take it. But you talked about Sam Pittman, what do I do? What seriously, tell me what to do. I really do think last year Sam Pittman would probably went for that. I do. So. I do. I think he would have went for that. In the past, I do think he would have went for that.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of like, well, like last year I would go for that, and this year I kicked it.
Yeah.
Neither one of them worked. I don't know what you want me to do. And that's where, and obviously when you say something, when you're the head coach of the University of Arkansas and everyone's football fanatics, they hang on every word and and all that. And so that gives.
And to give context to what Clint's saying, in the post-game press conference, I'm sure a lot of you heard it, but just in case you didn't, Sam Pittman was asked kind of a question about why he keeps losing these close games like this, these one-possession games. And he said, I don't know. I knew I was going to be asked that. What do you do? What should I do? I don't know. What do I do? And it just didn't sound. Look, one thing I love about Sam Pittman is he's so honest. One thing I don't like about Sam Pittman is he's so honest.
He's so honest, yeah.
And that's one of those situations as a leader, you're best not to say that. Now, I understand he just lost a game. He's emotional. He's upset about the loss. Look, I love Sam Pittman, but look, that's just not that doesn't give you a warm fuzzy about the head coach. It just doesn't. It doesn't give you a warm fuzzy about your leader when they answer the question like that.
And I'm sure us as the fans are overanalyzing it, but that's what we do. And let's just be honest, that's what we do.
But here's the deal, Clint. As a leader, and when you're in that position and you're getting paid and look, I hate the whole deal, like, and I'm about to say it, but when you get put in that position, you understand that it's gonna be picked apart.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. No,
everything you say is gonna be picked apart and put on sound bites all over X and Instagram reels and all that kind of Facebook reels and all that kind of stuff.
But before I watched and just the way my weekend went, I didn't get to watch, a lot of the post-game covers like I normally do. But one of the things I thought about after the game's over is, I have been a Sam Pittman apologist. I'm a huge Sam Pittman fan. I'm not judging. I'm not going to really comment much about that. I see where they're coming from because I haven't heard tone, inflection, or anything like that. So I don't want to judge it too much. Obviously, that's if looking at it in text or anything like that doesn't sound good.
Yeah,
it's kind of like with my cousin Vinny, where they're up there goes where Daniel LaRusso's like, I shot the clerk. I shot I shot the clerk.
Yeah.
I shot the clerk, and then the sheriff gets over there. I shot the clerk.
Yeah.
I shot the clerk.
Yeah.
So you don't know. It's easily manipulated. But but at some point, if he's going to be the head coach of the University of Arkansas, if he's going to be the guy to take us to the next level and be the long-term solution, you've got to start winning these games.
Yeah.
You've got to. I don't care that it didn't work last time, and you think you're going to do it the opposite this time. You're going to have to roll the dice, and you're going to have to hit.
Yeah.
And if you don't start hitting, then somebody else is probably going to be the head coach. And I'm pulling for you, bud. I want you to be the head coach for long term. I want you to be the answer.
Yeah.
We all want this to work, but eventually it's got to start working.
Well, and here's the other thing, Clint, and here's the other where I'm going to complain a little bit about Sam, but it gets passed on down the line too, is the rest of the defense.
Yeah.
And he did, and to his credit, he took the blame. He said it starts with coaching. He said it starts with me and then the defensive coaches. And he did say the defensive coaches. He said, we got to do better. But he included himself in that. Okay. And so he wasn't just wasn't just throwing them under the bus. Okay. And that's one of the things we like about him.
Yeah, I love because Sam Pitt will
never
anyone under the bus.
Clint, we've had this problem before.
Yeah.
Because he said the problem is we're overcoaching them in communication wise, and we're not letting them just play. They're having to think too much. Clint, we had the same thing under Odom. We had the same thing in the past. Remember when Grant Morgan was there? We started out bad that year, one a year, and we were like, we just got, and that was what they said. We got to simplify the defense and let these guys just play. And you got to learn from that years ago. You got to, if you're the head coach, you got to see that's happening. And we've seen that. Okay. We've seen that in these first two games. We saw that in Alabama A&M's first drive on us, right? We saw that, the defense was out there like not knowing what to do, not figuring out and he's exactly right. That's part of the problem. I think when I watch the defense, I think we got to let them play a little bit, and you got to say, okay, look, that guy's right there. He needs to be covered. The problem was we had two guys covering one guy and leaving one guy wide open running down the field the other day. It's because they were thinking too much. There was too much stuff going on. Sometimes on defense, you can make it too complicated. And maybe they were trying to make it complicated because they're trying to cover up for weaknesses on the D-line, weaknesses in the passing, pass defense that they were worried about, all the new guys they have on the back end. I don't know what it is, but Clint, if something doesn't change, first of all, we don't know if Travis Williams will be calling plays much longer.
Yeah, that was bad. I mean, that was about a poor of a defensive performance. I do think that this kid, I'm brain farting on his name. I'm sure he was SEC Player of the Week. But the quarterback from
Trinidad
Tobago.
Yeah.
No, but no,
wasn't it Trinidad or something? It was some country or city or something.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, I mean, you would think I'm trying to forget it. It's trauma. It's traumatizing, but no, he looked amazing.
Let's start getting it twisted. That kid's good.
That kid's good. When somebody said Baker Mayfield-esque, now here's one of two things is going. No. Arkansas is about to. We're going to go on to where they're going to next because we got Memphis coming up, and I got some both. We obviously got to talk about that a little bit. But Ole Miss, that guy played good enough that they got some questions now. I think. Do they stick with this guy? You got Simmons right there, but Simmons looked weak. One of the things that.
Well, and how much was it our defense was so inept?
Yeah,
because our defense played really bad. So it's maybe he looked really good. But how much of that was we sure made him look good? Because Arkansas, we made Heisman runners out of a lot of players before.
Yeah. You show right. You said before the game, you're like, I hope we don't make this kid look like a Heisman candidate. Yeah. And they made him look like a Heisman candidate.
Rohan Davey.
So Travissimo, who is your offensive player of the game?
Well, Clint, I got to go with my guy that I'm starting to get a little bit of a football man crush on, Omega Blake. I just
No,
like
you
the way
can't.
he's playing. He's blocking downfield. He's doing a lot of good things. I'm not for sure exactly. Look, first of all, Taylor Green was the player of the game. But okay, Taylor Green, great game. But however, we try to get the guys on here that are maybe not the most obvious. I wanted to say an offensive lineman because the offensive line did do such a good job. Corey Robinson probably would have been my second choice there. Uh, but I'm going to say Omega Blake just because I love what he's added. And once again, that was the spot I was probably more like the guys we brought in on offensive line. I wasn't as worried about our offensive line as much as I was worried about receivers. And Omega Blake is that dude, the receiver so far. So Clint, who do you got on offense?
The law firm of Petrino and Green, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it is
yeah. That's yeah,
they're cooking.
yeah,
It seems like they're in sync. They're on the same page.
yeah,
If the defense just gets mediocre, we're going to win a lot of football games.
yeah, yeah,
We're going to. I mean, they ain't got to be great on defense.
yeah.
They got to just be. If they
They
would
can
have held them
figure
to 20,
if and like I said, Clint, I think the heart of it's communication, man. I think the heart of all the problems is communication and overcoaching right now.
yeah,
I really think that's it.
yeah, and no, and you're right. Um, Defensively, it's hard to find the silver lining in that crap. It just is. But I'm going to go with Cam Ball. Man played 65 to 70 snaps, I
Yep.
heard.
Yep.
So obviously he's the heart and soul of that defensive line. Quincy Rhodes is playing through a groin injury, probably in a lot of pain. Shout out to him. It's just you know, I'm going to give it to Cam Ball. Not out of the fault. I mean, obviously the kid's a stud, but anyway, Travis.
Well, Campbell was on my. There's only two choices on defense. I'm going to go with Quincy Rhodes
Okay, obviously, yeah,
because for one thing, I did hear that he was the highest rated defensive player on like that pro football whatever where they rate like give guys a grade or whatever and after every
yeah. Pro
game or
Football
whatever.
Focus, yeah.
Pro Football Focus, yeah. And so he did I mean he did do pretty good. Now the knock on him, here's the deal. Both of those, they're the warmest fuzzies we had on defense, right? The knock on them is we love Cam Ball. We love Cam Ball. Okay. We've had him on here twice. We love Cam Ball. Kudas got the best of him a lot. I hated seeing that.
No.
I did not.
Kudas is a good ball player.
I did not like seeing it. We had Kudas on here too. Okay. And he was a good guy. And until he
Yeah, until he got in the transfer portal and went to Ole Miss. You know, and I forget how close Kudas is to growing up. I mean, he's a Memphis kid, so he grew up pretty close to Ole
yeah,
Miss.
but he told us and he told other people he didn't like Ole Miss. No,
Well,
but
he may not like Ole Miss, but he probably likes the check in his checkbook.
That's right. When they offer the right amount of money.
Yeah, like I may not love it, but I can grow to love it.
And the cold prickly on look, I've said it on here before. I like watching the defensive ends. I like to see if they set the edge, to see if they contain. And none of our defensive ends set the edge or contained in that game. Rhodes did it more than any of the rest of them. And he did play well, especially having there was a couple of like he chased a couple guys down a couple times with that groin. He showed some guts doing that. Pittman brought that up in a press conference. So that's my players of the game. Now we move on, head over to the land of the Blues, walking with our feet 10 feet off a bill to Memphis. Maybe it was Memphis, Clint.
Travis, can I tell you how I feel about this game?
Sure.
The season is on the line. period, then the see you if you go down there and lose to Memphis, you're probably looking at. I just see it coming unraveled.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I just do. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna come unraveled. You're gonna
Yeah.
start seeing the bickering, the toxicity is gonna get there. Um,
It's
you've
already
got
there. But yeah.
well, I mean, it's there. It'll be back. I mean,
Yeah.
you
It's gonna
lose,
be
you lose.
worse. It'll be
Yeah,
worse.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be worse. So yeah, I don't know if it's in the locker room yet or anything like that,
No.
but I think you'll start seeing it get there. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this right now, Travis, and you can quote me on this. Are you in a couple few weeks you can look back and okay, Clint, you're an idiot. If we beat Memphis, we will beat Notre Dame.
Okay.
If we beat Memphis, we will beat Notre Dame.
Okay.
Uh, Mark my words on that. Now,
I hope you're right.
but to do that
And
first, we have to beat Memphis.
and I think we're gonna beat Memphis. I think we beat them by 2 touchdowns. I think it'll be um I think they're well, for one thing, I just think we're gonna outscore them. And I think our defense will our defense did get a stop there at the end of the game against Ole Miss when we needed one. Let's give them let's find a little bit of silver lining. And hopefully they feel challenged right now. They feel, they feel like their backs are against the wall a little bit. The defense does. Travis Williams definitely should feel that way. And look, once again, love Travis Williams. Love what he stands for. Love listening to him talk. I think he seems like a great coach. But that was terrible the other day, and it can't look like that, like you said, against Memphis. So yeah, I think we go over there. We put, you know, I think there'll be quite a few Arkansas fans go over. It's only going to be 30,000 people because their stadium's being remodeled. So there's like 20,000 seats that aren't available. And because of that, so it'll be a little different. Of course, they just played over there, in the Liberty Bowl not long ago. So it'll be familiar to some players, even though they're staying
Yeah.
at a different hotel this time, I think. But
So, yeah, they're not staying in the Peabody. I will say this, Travis. I do think Arkansas has a very, 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 very good football team. I mean, obviously, defense. There, some stuff has got to get fixed. It
yeah,
has to get fixed immediately but here's the reality: we lost 41-35 to the number 17 team in the country
yeah.
at their place at night. I mean, you don't get.
And Clint, we may be looking up at the end of the season with that kid at quarterback and saying that really wasn't that bad of a loss.
Yeah.
Because we may have seen the birth of something special out of him.
Yeah, and it could come crashing down next week for him.
And it could.
And,
It could.
it does both.
That's right.
But the story is still to be written on this team, and I don't think Travis, was there a pundit out there that you saw? Because I know you're on a lot of message boards and a lot of things like that. Did anyone project us to go 12-0 this year?
No, sir.
So I mean, you're mad at them for doing something most of you probably picked them to do.
Yeah.
I know I did, but here's a game that I think the majority of us probably picked them to win.
Yeah.
They need to win.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be playing, but they are for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't know whose idea this was. I think it's stupid.
Well, I think it's a game you play, but you don't play it at Memphis.
Yeah, you don't play
make
it
a
in
lot of
Memphis.
sense.
Like, you want to come, you come to Fayetteville.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. The contract's signed. They're gonna fly in. They're gonna stay at the hotel. They're gonna go play the game.
Yep.
And
Now, the other thing going on right now, Clint, in Arkansas, that's all over media, social media, all over the local talk shows. Hunter Yurachek was at the touchdown club, David Basil's touchdown club. And he gave some quotes that made some Hog fans very upset. They wasn't happy about them. One of those is he talked about the fact that right now, he was given kind of a state of the athletic department. He said, our basketball team, our baseball team, our softball team, he said, are in a stage where they're ready for a national championship. They're competing for it. He said, but I'll be honest with you, in football, we're not there right now. And man, Arkansas fans don't like that, Clint. They're unhappy. They want Yurachek gone yesterday. A lot of
Can I
them.
tell you something, Travis?
What's
I'm going
that?
to just be honest with you.
Yeah.
And me and you've talked about it. I've been taking the weight loss shot. You've taken the weight loss shot.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, the other day, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look at myself in the mirror naked. Because I think, I've lost some weight.
Yeah.
I'm feeling svelte.
Yeah.
And then you know what happened? I looked in that mirror and it told the truth.
That's right.
You don't look good naked.
That's right.
That is, and yeah. But that's the
That may be
analogy
the
I'm
most
using.
disturbing illustration we've ever used on
But
it.
it's an accurate illustration.
Yeah.
Like he told the truth. He told what it
Yeah.
was.
No,
Travis,
it's
what was a record? Okay, 7-6, 4-8,
yeah.
7-6.
Yeah.
You're not competing with those records. You're not competing for
Yeah.
national titles.
And like you said earlier, no one, you alluded to with no one picked people picked we were probably going to lose to Ole Miss. No one predicted us to compete for a national championship going into this year. Or a playoff. Nobody.
No,
Nobody in the athletic department except for the coaches would have even said something that was a possibility. And they just said it because they have to say it. But Razorback fans were prisoners of the moment. We're coming off a loss, another close loss. We're already upset because Pittman said something we didn't like in the postgame press conference. And then the athletic director says something like that. It was already the deal was already a little contentious because people are already upset about Kevin Trainer, being fired and the people they had to fire there. He explained that. He explained, look, he said, I told him we had to cut some salaries, and he said I assigned it to people to look and say, okay, what positions can we get rid of? It doesn't matter who the people are. We just need to eliminate positions. And that was one of the positions. So that was his, when you're a leader, man, you got to make tough decisions like that, especially when you're talking about money.
Yeah.
But here's the other deal, Clint. If you don't like it, folks, if we don't like it, I say we, then what are we doing about it? Because we're in the era now to where we have a say. It's not just about what the athletic director and the coaches do up there. If we don't like it, then you put more money into it because that's what makes the difference on these teams. That's what makes a difference. The playoff teams are the ones that are putting the most money into their players. And we can't even get someone to sponsor our stadium yet. We've been a year and a half without that. And he said it's probably going to be another year and a half because they're focusing on other things right now of fundraising. And they're not really going out trying to get money for that yet.
guys, I'm going to tell you at the end of this podcast, Travis, when you do the description, please leave our cash apps in the if you have a PayPal, if you got a PayPal, I got a PayPal. Leave those and people can send us money. We want the Hawg Slop podcast Razorback Stadium.
That's right. That's right.
Now, I think it sounds amazing. I think
Hey, let's just call it the Slop House.
the Slop House. Hey, if no one else is going to pony up, but we're going to need
That's
your
right.
help.
Hey,
We're gonna do it. You know what? Next week,
look,
next week will be what, 210,
it'd be 213. No, this one's
213.
213. This was
I have to be honest
213.
with you, I was just guessing. I had no idea. I ain't paid attention in weeks.
Yeah,
But what we'll do is we're gonna have it next week's gonna be a telethon.
that's it.
A
We can get a bunch of people with phones.
phone. We're gonna have Bozo the Clown.
That's right. Yeah.
We're
Yeah. Do like on Parks and Rec where Ron
Stanley, yeah,
Swanson taught how to weave a chair.
the Stanley Spadowski Clubhouse,
That's right.
UHF reference there.
See, I
First,
think that's
first
perfect.
one,
Let's Slop House by Hawg Slop
Clubhouse,
Podcast
yeah.
with our little look at it, our little,
Yeah,
you know, I need to svelte mine up a little bit. Of course, that's the old logo, but
that's the old
I need
logo.
to svelte mine up a little bit.
See, and I never was that thin. Like,
I don't have quite the bulge there in the belly that I used
no,
to.
you're looking good, my friend.
Yeah.
So, so Travis, I mean, at the end of the day, I think your check was just being honest. He was probably trying to hint around that they need more NIL money,
Yeah.
if they're going to compete, because the football's the biggest sport. It just is, and they're probably
But
anyway.
here's the deal, Clint. Uh, I think I feel really good about this. Not good about it. I don't feel good about it. I feel, I think this is going to happen. I think we're looking for a new AD and head coach by the end of the season.
Really, you think so? Okay.
I think so.
Well, I do think we'll know more after this week. I don't think
I
we're.
think
I mean,
Yurichek's getting enough pressure and everything that he may, if he doesn't go like on, he may just hunt for another job. He's been rumored at a couple other jobs, which tells me that he's probably shown some interest in them in the past 2 years. So I wouldn't doubt if he takes another one.
dude, it
Or,
just you know what, in the SEC, it's just it is a really in major D1 football, unless you're at a smaller program, unless you're somewhere
yeah,
like maybe Purdue or something like that, you're gonna be pretty like Arkansas. I would say South Carolina, Ole Miss,
yeah,
um, Texas A&M. You know, one of those programs. It's just, I mean, the fans are never going to be happy.
yeah.
If we were 3-0 and all that, they would be griping about the women's basketball coach.
No.
You know, it just, I mean, they're never. It's just the constant like having to put out fires and having to put all that.
Well, and I think right now my only hope is that I hope Pittman can leave on a note to where he's still connected well to the University of Arkansas because I want to see him still at University of Arkansas activities, doing speeches. In fact, I want to see him. I think they need to put him in a give him an office up there, and every recruit that comes on campus and every transfer portal guy that comes on campus, they need to bring his family in and let Sam Pittman show him around. Let him take him to the Catfish Hole or Wright's Barbecue or whatever, and
Yeah.
let Sam Pittman be that liaison that does that. Give him some kind of token salary for doing it, and But I think this is Sam's last year for sure.
Travis, I think
I'm
they're going to be.
convinced of that.
I picked them to go 8-4 at the beginning of the year, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah. Well,
I really am, and I 8-4. I don't think he's going anywhere.
yeah.
Um,
I think Clint, I'm convinced that even at 8-4, he retires. I think it's his last year, no matter unless I think it's his last year at Arkansas. I'm more and more convinced of that. Um, and like I said, my hope is he can ride off into the sunset, uh, and down to Lake Hamilton. Let him, hey, we can add a third to the Hog Slop podcast, man. We can get you on Zoom,
eight
Coach
eight
Pittman.
and four in a Gator Bowl win, not a bad way to go out. But
Yeah, yeah.
no, I definitely think, you know what, and even if they go 4-8 this year, let's say it gets off the rails and it goes out, I think Pittman left it better than he found it.
I do too. And he did some things like, his handling of CJ Brown and his dad's death, and kind of like Bielema, the way he handled Ragnall's dad's dying. I gained a lot of respect for, I mean, I already had respect for Pittman. I think he treats people well. I think he's a good guy. And so, I want the best for him. I've always wanted the best for him, but I really see the writing on the wall.
So Travis,
That's
let
how I
me ask you
feel.
the question. If you're saying this is Pittman's last year, he's going to retire. Let's say he gets to retire on his own terms. He goes 9-3, 8-4, somewhere in there. Could come back, but he chooses to retire. Who's head coach at Arkansas next year?
Um, Rhett Lashley or Dow Loggins?
Yeah, I think it's Loggins.
I think I would prefer Loggins
Yeah.
because I think he's going to come with the love for Arkansas. I just don't know. The only problem is he doesn't have the resume that Lashley does. Lashley's got a college football playoff
Yeah.
under his belt. And he, has a chance to have a decent year this year, a good year this year at SMU. The problem with Lashley is the last time we went to SMU and got a coach, we went, left lane hammer down, and we didn't like it very much.
No, I didn't like it, but I think there's a huge difference
But
between.
Lashley's proven himself a lot more.
Yeah.
Now here's the other thing I wanted to bring up real quick, and we need to get off here, but I want to remind you for folks that don't like Pittman being that honest. And we talked about him being, that's what I love about him is he's so honest. What I don't like, sometimes he's too honest. I'll still take that honesty over Chad Morris in press conferences not saying a dang thing. Because his press conferences always made me so mad because he wasn't honest.
No, and he wouldn't answer. He wouldn't answer questions. He was.
Oh yeah, he sounded like a politician trying to. Yeah, I mean it was terrible. So, I'll take Pittman's honesty, and he's gonna mess up and be too honest sometimes. But I'll take that over what we had under the old Chad Morris.
So what's your prediction for the score in the Memphis game?
I'm gonna say uh 42-28 Arkansas.
Okay, it's funny because I was thinking around the same thing. I'm going to go 42-24 Pigs. Now, Trav, there was one other sports story, and I know we got about 9 minutes, but we need to wrap it up. One other sports story that hit me between the eyes, and I talked to you a little bit about it, and I know you said you haven't researched much about it. Have you seen the story about the Clippers circumventing the salary cap to basically give Kawhi Leonard $28 million?
Yeah.
And what it is it's basically this company. This company defrauded some people, so it's a less than honest company. And Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, is connected to this company as an investor.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically paid Kawhi Leonard $28 million for endorsements that he never did. Like literally, he did about as much for them as me and you have.
So it's just to get past the salary cap.
It's basically to pay him an extra $7 million a year for nothing.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Steve Ballmer did a sit-down interview with one of the ladies that does NBA coverage.
Mm.
And and he was trying to explain, he's saying, look, this was a dishonest company. They defrauded me out of X amount of dollars. Now, Travis, here's the thing. Have you ever been bamboozled?
Yeah.
Like somebody pulled the wool over your eyes.
Oh yeah.
And they took money from you.
Yeah.
Did you know that person to just give somebody else a lot of money? Hoops and giggles.
Yeah.
Because he's saying like, hey, they defrauded me. This is a dishonest company. Typically, they don't give away $28 million to an athlete that just happens to be on your basket.
Gonna help you out. Yeah.
It's gonna help you out.
Yeah, look,
stupid. We might have took your 300 million. We're gonna give 28 of it to Kawhi Leonard.
Which that Clippers owner, he's kind of proven himself to be a shady dude in the past, so it's not surprising he'd do something like that. So
No, not at all.
kind of on par for him. But yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's but you know,
Yeah.
the thing is, you wonder, you know, they're doing that in the NBA. You wonder, okay, there's a good chance he got that idea from somebody else.
Oh yeah. Well,
It's not just happened with Kawhi Leonard. And it's probably happening in college in
oh
places.
sure. But the thing
Of course, it's
is,
now all legal in college, but anyway.
but he shot some sort of commercial for him, like no one could have said anything. And
Yeah.
apparently Pablo Torres, who was famous from around the horn, has got the receipts.
Yeah.
Like he's got them dead to rights on it.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like it was a good piece. I mean, I've read on it. And the other big thing in the news, and then we'll wrap it up, was that the like 4 or 5 schools had kids arrested, or not arrested, basically banned permanently from college athletics because of betting on their own team.
Yeah.
It's just I mean, it's too easy. I mean, like me and you wanted to make a bet right now on just something.
Yeah.
Get on this phone and we can just,
Yeah. Easy.
we could be on the Bet Saracen app.
Yeah.
Like that.
And that's the thing. And how many of those schools are taking sponsorships
Yeah.
from those companies that do those bets? You know, that's the thing about it. You know, now, once again, you can't bet on your own team, but
No, and that's one of the first things in life. But Travis, back in our day, let's say, I mean, and we didn't play. I mean, I played, trust me, no one's gambling on Arkansas Tech athletics.
yeah,
But unless you're a real degenerate gambler,
that's
type
right.
of
Yeah.
guy goes to the dog track.
That's right. Yeah.
But but like back when we were like in college, if we wanted to place a wager on the Arkansas Tennessee game,
Yeah.
the links we would have to go through to make that wager.
Oh, I had friends that they had bookies in Hot Springs they had to call, and like they were making illegal, bets that way,
Yeah.
and they were like,
No,
hey,
if we wanted to make a bet
like,
on the up and up,
yeah.
we'd have to drive to Tunica at least.
Oh yeah, an up and up bet. Yeah, you'd have to go to Tunica, but like I had buddies that like they were like, hey, so and so has a bookie, you can go make a bet with them. You
got to call Joey Knuckles.
Yeah, and then you got to worry about if you don't pay out or whatever. But yeah, well, Clint, Hogs got to beat them Tigers from Memphis.
I'm telling you, the season is on the brink.
This is it.
I'm telling you, I think a good year is still ahead of you, but you got to win this game.
They need to go over there and get them some Central Barbecue. I suggest finishing off with some banana pudding. Best banana pudding you'll ever have at a restaurant. And then go over there and beat up on them little Memphis Tigers and take out the frustration that was Ole Miss. Defense, got to stand up, got to bow up. It's that time, boys. Got to do it. But Clint, 11 o'clock Saturday, we'll see what happens, right?
Blue Pig, let's go.
Let's go, Hogs. Have a great week, Clint. Like, share, subscribe. All the things. Share it on social media. Let people know where you're getting your Hawg Slop at, baby. Right here.
Blue Pig.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying can your kingdom come? Oh, I swear, when I work, my hands get